son. We're back. Hey, dude. So the stream that I just did, and I was like, all right, I'm starting over because we need to talk about Jon Jones, the current heavyweight champion of the world, Tom Aspinall, the reason why they are not announced in the many title fights that just got announced. I started talking about Ilia Topuria, talking about Islam, to fighting Islam Makhachev. That's not even the fight. Okay. And a telemarketer blew me up and I had to answer and talk to him for 7, like I did, like went through it's like, that's not a good first 7 minutes of any stream. So we started over. Now, what I wanted to show you though, okay, what I want to show you is the following, okay, because I put that in members only because it is 7 minutes of content and I'm sure I have some funny jokes in there, And so I was like, you know what, dude, let me just change the thumbnail. So this is the thumbnail that I made. I did it in 1 second. And I was like, oh my God, is that the best thumbnail I've ever made? I think it is. I just put a gigantic fail over the thumbnail. Is that not good? Is that not a good thumbnail? I think it's really good. You might start seeing that style now. I just wanted to tell you guys that. All right. Anyway, so let's talk about UFC because Dricus is going to be fighting against KHAMZAT. Ilia is fighting against Charles Oliveira for the vacant title. Islam Makhachev is going to be fighting Jack Della Maddalena. Okay. And also, like we said, Jon Jones is not agreeing to fight Tom Aspinall. And guess what he said about it, though? Check this out. All right. Look at what Jon Jones had to say about him not fighting. He's like, I am living my absolute best life. He is, for sure. Hey, do you want to know who's not doing anything wrong in this situation? Ready? Jon Jones. Hey, you want to know why that's the case? Is because Jon Jones doesn't have to fight. You know what I mean? Like, Jon doesn't have to fight. But here is the answer, though. If he doesn't fight, he can't be the champion. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, dude, I totally agree. He is absolutely living his best life. But if he refuses to fight, bruh, I mean, like, I actually don't think people realize, like, how outlandish this actually is, okay? I want to show you guys something really quick, okay? And I want to take you back. Okay, I want to take you back on a little trip. Okay, little trip. Okay, that trip is back to when Francis Ngannou was still in the UFC. You're right. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got sidetracked. We're going to talk about Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall after we talk about all these other fights because that's going to take the entire rest of the stream. Yes, Islam Makhachev has vacated the lightweight belt. Charles Oliveira is going to be fighting Ilia Topuria for the lightweight belt. As I was saying in my previous stream, which I was for some reason saying is Islam versus Ilia because I'm a moron, but it is Charles versus Ilia. I was saying so let me show you specifically exactly what they're saying about it. But they are saying that so Islam vacant at a welterweight title, date to be determined. Okay, never mind. So that's for UFC 317. I completely butchered this story all the way. Like I just butchered this top to bottom. Like I couldn't have actually had this more idiotic in my other stream if I wanted to. Like just to entertain you guys. What I said in my prior stream that now has a thing fail on it and it's members only was I was like, bro, they're going to do Ilia versus Islam Makhachev. And just wait. They're going to do Ilia versus Islam in Spain. It's like, great reporting, Jesse on Fire. Ilia is not only not fighting against Islam Makhachev, he's also booked for UFC 317, which you already know is International Fight Week in Las Vegas. So why don't you try to figure out a way that you could have gotten this story more incorrect and then come back? Like, fucking more. I 100% said that in my other stream that's now in members only. Absolute moron. Me. Okay, so Charles Oliveira and Ilia Topuria are going to be fighting. They're going to be the main event. Title fight, UFC 317. And Pantoja versus Kai Kara or Kai Kara France is the co-main. That fight card is bananas. Okay. And International Fight Week. Listen, I say it every single year. I'm going this year. I've been saying that I'm going to go to International Fight Week every year for, I don't know. What on earth? Let me show you guys something. All right. So, you know, the usual UFC schedule. It's all right. So here's UFC 315. Cool. Here's Burns versus Morales. Oh, Blanchfield versus Barber. Great. Here's 316. Cool. Usman versus Buckley. Great. All right. What else we got? Here's Hill versus Roundtree. And then UFC 318. You're all. I feel like we skipped a number, right? So here's 317. I don't know why that's not on there, though. Wait, where did the full fight card go, dude? Come on. You know those days where like everything annoying happens? There we go. All right. So it's Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira. Alexander Pantoja versus Kai Kara France. Paulo Costa. Remember him? Remember Costa? Versus Kopolov. Great fight right there. Great fight right there. Dariush versus our boy, the YouTube's only son, Renato Moicano. Okay, you got Denise versus Justin Taffa. Somebody's going to get decapitated. You got Royval against Manuel Cape. That is a fucking banger right there, dude. For two guys who combined are like only a little bit heavier than me. That is a banger of a fight. Choke Dealer, what's up, dog? Thank you for the super chat. I missed several lives. I'm doing fantastic, dude, and I hope you are doing well as well. Michael Mitchell, how are you, sir? Thank you for the super chat. Okay, so, and then Jack Hermanson against Gregory Rodriguez and Tracy Cortez versus Vivian. Okay, look, do you guys see those new pictures came out of Tracy Cortez? Listen, she's looking cool like a fool in a pool. Anyway, so that is UFC 317, and it is looking very, very awesome. Okay. So now, over here, okay, Islam Makhachev is going to fight Jack Della Maddalena at welterweight, date to be determined. And Dricus is going to be fighting against KHAMZAT at UFC 319 in Chicago. So, I mean, listen, hang on. Let's actually do this real quick. Okay, so 316. You got Marab. Okay, so let's just go through our summer. Okay, and let's go through our summer, you guys. All right, we'll go through our summer. Forrest is here, you guys. What's up, Forrest? How are you? If that's Forrest Griffin, I loved you on that podcast, dude. I'm just kidding. I'm breaking your balls. You're a stud. All right, so this is definitely not wise. We're going to talk about Jon Jones extensively. As soon as we're done, I just want to talk about these fights, talk about the summer, and then we're going to talk about Jon Jones because that's going to take the rest of the stream. Okay. So, 316, June 7th, we got Marab versus Sean, Juliana Pena versus Kayla Harrison, and Bruno Silva. Man, this is a whack-ass card for that. Damn, I hadn't even looked at this. This is a... My goodness. O'Malley and Marab. Dude, they must be paying O'Malley a fucking fortune, dude. They must be paying him a fortune. Because every time, like, when Connor was still, you know, like in, I don't know, say, like when he came back for the Cowboy fight or the two Dustin fights, you look at like the undercards and it was like, God damn, that is a barren wasteland, you know? They must be paying Sean a lot because this is a pay-per-view. I mean, I'm not saying these aren't like, you know, good fights or whatever. You got two chick fights on the fucking pay-per-view main event card. And one of them's Wang Kong. I mean, I know she's exciting and knocks people out, but like, bro, Juliana Pena is the co-main. I mean, Oh, this is for the vacant belt. Duh. God, Jesse on fire. You are slacking today. But still, it's not a great card. Actually, this makes this much better. Kayla Harrison against Juliana Pena is actually a banger fight. But Bruno, like, this is still not a great card, man. Actually, that's a great fight, though. See, they're like good fights. You know, they're like good fights. That's actually not that bad now that I'm looking at it. Kevin Holland again. This motherfucker will fight every single week if they give him a spot, man. Oh, bro, Forrest Griffin is a complete and total badass. He could say any kind of, you know, ridiculous, like, white guilt stuff, and I'll always love that dude. All right, so that's 316. And then we got Usman versus Buckley. We got Rose against Miranda Maverick. That's, dude, I love watching Rose fight, obviously. Chiesa and Court McGee. This is a good card. And then you got Jamal Hill against Khalil Roundtree. Jamal Hill starving for a victory. Dude, by the way, okay, I just got a clip of that was supposed to, you know, showing what's his name? Oh my God, I hate my brain right now, dude. I can't ever remember anyone's name. The jiu-jitsu guy that fucking from like Scotland or whatever, who I definitely 100% know his name, and my brain is just like on that broke his arm. That it was like, you know, the clip was like, oh, look at how vicious his jiu-jitsu is, and his jiu-jitsu is incredible. Okay. When that fight happened, I was watching with one of the black belt instructors at Six Blades, who is probably the toughest critic of all. Paul Craig. There you go. He's one of the toughest critics like on earth about everything. Like if he tells you did a good job, like you did I got a really good job. And he was saying, he watched Paul Craig. He's like, wow, he has great jiu-jitsu. I was like, God damn. I mean, we all know he has great jiu-jitsu, but anyway, Paul Craig broke Jamal Hill's arm in half and had him trapped in a triangle. Okay. Like he had him completely trapped in a triangle. He's never going to get out. Broke his arm in half, and Jamal Hill just started punching him with his other arm. So he has no arm. He's definitely going to go unconscious. Does he tap? Nah. He just starts punching Paul Craig with the other arm. Do you know how gangster that is? Like, do you know how gangster that is? His arm was completely disjointed, and he's trapped in a triangle, and he just starts punching Paul Craig. Pretty gangster, dude. Put some respect on that man's name, dude. Then we got Poirier, Max Holloway, and then UFC 17 we've talked about. So that's going to be all very exciting stuff. All right. So now let's talk about Jon Jones. Jiggle balls. What's up, dude? Okay. So this Jon Jones situation, let's go ahead and move over here. Right. So to remind everybody, okay, actually, let's start right here. Jon Jones is responding to the haters, and he's saying he's living his absolute best life, which is true. So if there is any message, okay, if there is any message that people should take from this entire incident, okay, it is that save your money. If you make some money, don't spend it. Because the reason why Jon Jones can play this game is because he doesn't need the money. As soon as people don't need the money, suddenly they have real leverage. Anyone who needs money, okay, the UFC knows they just wait him out, dude. They can just wait him out. Jon Jones is demonstrating he saved his money, okay? Like he was making, like he said, he was making $5 million a fight if he fought 2 times. I mean, you make $10 million for a couple of years and you're not a complete fucking idiot, There's no reason you should not be set for life. Oh, I made $8 million that year. I made $12 million that year. I made $5 million that year. That was a bad year. I made $5 million. Yeah, I made $9 million that year, and I made $12 million. It's like, dude, there's no reason you should need money. And Jon Jones has been fighting forever, okay? So he doesn't need the money. But that said, okay, now let's move over to this little slide over here, okay? Because there is only one reason this is happening. Okay, the reason why Jon Jones is being given the leeway that he's being given is because, in my opinion, Francis Ngannou was the champion of the UFC and he left, okay? And the UFC desperately needed to not have there be anyone saying that the best heavyweight in the world is in another division or in another organization, right? Like they have to erase the Francis Ngannou story. Jon Jones was the only person that could do that, okay? He was the only person that could do that at the time. And so that's why Dana was talking about he's the GOAT, he's the GOAT, he's the greatest of all time, he's whatever. And I'm not saying that he's not, for the record, right? But that is why he has been given such an insane amount of leeway here to where, dude, he fought against Dominic Reyes in February of 2020. That's 5.5 years ago, dude. 5.5 years ago. He comes back in March. Okay, so 2.5 years ago, and fights Cyril Gane. Awesome. Holy shit. What an amazing performance, right? He doesn't fight again for 18 months, okay? 18 months he doesn't fight. And when he comes back, he fights against a 79-year-old Stipe Miocic. Okay? Like, listen, no disrespect to Stipe, okay? Age is one of those things that's ridiculous for anyone to talk shit about. You know? They're like, oh my God, hey, bro, once you get a little older, you're like, oh, hey, sick burn, dude. Oh, wow. Oh, what? Because you're 27? Oh, wow. It's like, bro, that guy's like 40. You're all right, which means he's already like, he's made it to 40. You don't know. Maybe you won't even fucking make it to 40, dude. Okay. But like, that's not like an own, except for the fact if you're talking about whether or not someone was in their prime when you fought them. Okay. Like, Stipe's fucking like 44 years old or something. So Jon Jones, since moving to heavyweight, was given a handpicked opponent that had no grappling, and they knew that because he fought against Francis, who had a fucking torn MCL when he fought against him, and still wrestle fucked him. Okay. And then after that, he was able to somehow not fight. Oh, well, there was an injury, he gets injured or whatever. He's injured. But still, 18 months, they don't strip him. Okay. 18 months. He won one fight at heavyweight and was injured, and they waited 18 months. And then he fights Stipe. In the meantime, you have an absolutely dominant heavyweight that comes out who has run through everyone, who wins the interim belt. And we're still sitting here waiting. Like, dude, they have to strip him. Like, they have to strip him. They have to fucking strip him. Because the reason why this is happening, again, this is all coming back to the Francis thing. And then also, like, now Dana was like, we're going to make this fight. We're going to make this fight. We're going to make this fight. I mean, Jon Jones is literally the worst possible person that you could do that with. Because Jon doesn't need the money. He will run a hard bargain on them. He feels slighted by the UFC for sure. So he's like, this is my interpretation. I don't know Jon personally, but my interpretation is Jon's always keeping score, dude. Okay. Like that. I look at him and that's exactly what I see. I think Jon is a like way cooler guy than people give him credit for. I think that like the people who are in his life, like all think that I mean, have you ever heard someone who's like friends with him come out and they're all, that guy's a real piece of shit. He's like a really charming dude. But he's also one of those guys that's like smiling and he's keeping score. And he's like, Dana would throw me into a river with a cinder block attached to me if it was going to help the UFC. I know that. So you think I'm going to take less money? Like right now I have them by the fucking balls. And so I'm going to milk it. And here's the thing, like, dude, in my opinion, he has extremely unreasonable demands. If he was really asking for $30 million, $40 million, whatever it is, it's ludicrous, dude. Okay? Like, the UFC is not the same as boxing. We've talked about this 10, 100 billion, trillion times, right? It's so ridiculous, dude. It's like boxing. I'm going to do this. I'm going to just walk everyone through this one more time. Okay. Forget about the Saudis. The Saudis have unlimited money. Money is not a real thing to them. They just do what they want to do. They don't care if they make money or lose money. It's irrelevant. Okay. But you take them out of it and you look at the actual business of boxing as it has existed up until like now, before the Saudis. And it's like, dude, you have this super famous fighter. You have this super famous fighter. And they're all like, all right, we're going to do this event. And it's like, all right. And then they throw money in together. Or they get investors, they throw money in together, they book a stadium, they book the marketing, they book the security, they book whatever. That's the entire overhead structure of that business, right? It's like all the costs are just associated with that one event, right? Dude, the UFC is like Disney, except, fucking fighting. They have so much shit going on. They have so many employees that are working all the time. They have the PI. They have they have lobbyists. They have so much stuff going on that they pay for. It's this entire astronomically large machine. So like anytime that I hear guys like, listen, Canelo's making $50 million for that fight, I should be at least able to get 40. You're like, oh my God, dude. It's so dumb. It's such a dumb argument. They're not the same. Okay. Yes, you punch people in the face. Basically where the similarities end. You know? So my guess is that Jon Jones is being A, unreasonable on how much money he is asking for. And guess what? B, he's probably going to get paid an astronomical amount of money because he's being unreasonable. Okay. And I don't think that he cares. Like, he's probably like, he doesn't need the money. He's never lost. He's the king of the world. But at the same time, like, the UFC doesn't really have very much leverage here, if we're being honest. It's like, right? It's like what are they gonna threaten Jon with? They're all, okay, we'll strip you. He's like, all right. Okay, I'll walk. Now, one thing I did see though, let me just see if this was a made up thing, which it probably was. Okay, because I saw this thing, they're like, bro, they're like, they should do Daniel Cormier should come back and fight against Jon Jones at heavyweight. And I was like, don't you dare. Don't you dare tease me with that. Yeah, it's not going to happen. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Because look, this is probably what this was about right here. It was like Jon Jones' biggest rival baffled by UFC champ saying he beat him worse at heavyweight. It's like, dude, Jon will not ever stop breaking Cormier's balls, man. You know, almost 8 years have passed since their last fight, and the world is still talking about Jones versus Cormier, one of the greatest rivals. Man, that was 8 years ago, bro. You want to know, like, that's actually a great kind of staple, like, flag in the ground, as like a what's the right way to put this? Like a point of reference in my life, because that was dead center of the worst period of my life by a mile. Like, no close second. That was that year. It's like from April of 2017 until, you know, kind of like around a year. So like April 2017 to April 2018, worst time of my life by a mile. And that was like right at the beginning, just like paralyzing, horrific circumstances. So unbelievable what can happen in 8 years, dude. Just put your fucking head down and start working, because man, I like, if in that moment, dude, that night of that fight, if someone would have been like, listen, man, if they like laid out what my life is now, they're all, here's what your life can be, and here's what you need to do it. I'd have done some fucked up shit. But it turned out all I needed to do was just work my ass off every single day for many, many years, you know? Thank you, Serge. You are a scholar and a gentleman. I appreciate you, dude. So again, like, I don't know, man. I honestly don't even, like I said, the reason that this is not happening is because Jon Jones has all the leverage, and I guarantee he is being very, very unreasonable about what, well, I mean, you know, unreasonable is all relative, but I guarantee is asking for the biggest payday ever. Would be my guess. I bet you he's asking for such an astronomical amount of money. It's absurd. Current UFC champion and light heavyweight, great. Took some time out of, and man, and Tom Aspinall's just like sitting on the sideline doing nothing, like just waiting. And he says, I don't know if it's considered ducking when you're living good. I don't think it works like that. I mean, it does work like that. I mean, how you're living is irrelevant. But Jon Jones is not ducking Tom Aspinall. That's not what's happening. He's negotiating with the UFC. He has to establish, okay, that he does not need this fight and he does not need the money, which he has done, okay? And this is exactly what Tom Aspinall is saying. I'm bored of the Jones conversation. I've had enough. We either fight or I need to move on to something else. Seriously, let me tell you something, dude. This is my problem. This is my only problem with these situations, okay? Jon Jones should negotiate as much as he wants. Conor McGregor should negotiate as much as he wants. These guys should do whatever they want. But, dude, if you are holding up another guy's career, that's fucked up, dude. Either do the fight or don't, okay? At a certain point, shot caller, you are absolutely right. We would be best friends. I almost named my channel Shot Caller. That's how I know, dude, because we both call them shots, dog. I appreciate you, dude. Thank you for continuing to support the channel. I agree. We would almost certainly be good buddies. So, like, what Conor McGregor did to Michael Chandler is fucking bullshit. It's like really, really, really fucked up. Like now with it in the rear view, like Conor did Chandler so fucking dirty. It actually pisses me off now that I think about it, dude. Like Conor completely fucked Michael Chandler. You know? And Chandler was given no choice. He pulled out of that fight with 3 weeks left, dude. Or like 2 weeks, fucking broken pinky toe. And then pretended like they were going to reschedule it forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Look at this shit. Okay. Look at this shit. Hold on. Like if I was going to talk to Tom Aspinall, I would be like, I want you to take a look at something, bud. Take a look at this. Okay? What the fuck? Hold on. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I was looking at something else. But yeah, look at this, dude. 2 fucking years. Okay? He's 39. He's 39 years old, you guys. So from 36 to 38, he didn't fight, waiting for Conor. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing Tom can do. That's my point. That's why it's so fucked up. That's why I think it's so messed up. There's nothing he can do. Comment. What's up, dude? Thank you for the super chat. Jesse, you think it's a stall tactic for UFC or Jones to push the Jones Aspinall fight until Madison Square Garden at the end of the year? Dana said it'll get done this year. I doubt it, dude. Honestly, I think Jon Jones is stalling, dude. I think they're negotiating because Tom Aspinall would not say something like that, you know, where he'd be like, dude, either, you know, make the fight or don't, but I need to fight, right? Like Jon Jones, like it's great. Jon Jones is financially stable. And honestly, this is not Jon Jones' responsibility, but it's like, no, he can't, dude. Look at Aspinall cannot just go fight somewhere else. He really can't. Like if he just goes to UFC, he's like, listen, guys, okay, I'm done. Just give me another fight. Like I'll fight for the interim belt or whatever. They're not going to do it. Okay. Like they won't do it. They're not just going to give him another fight. I'm telling you. Now, Chandler could have done that. But a fight with Conor McGregor is a once in a career thing. He's at the end of his career. He had to wait. Like Conor fucked Chandler so hard, dude. It's unbelievable, actually. This is not that bad. And honestly, let's get, okay, here's the other thing, right? Here is the other thing. Jon Jones, 37, okay? Like, realistically, he could probably come back when he's 40 and everybody will be like, you know, so he actually could drag this out for a really long time. But let me see something here real quick. So Tom Aspinall is how old? 32, dude. He's got to go in there. He's got to fight. God damn, it's been almost a fucking year. It's been almost a year since he fought, dude. That's so crazy, man. Dude, listen. It is a nightmare when guys get into these situations. Okay, so like Tom, what's he going to do? He's the interim champion. He's just waiting on Jon Jones. He's run through every single person that he has fought. Okay, everyone. The good news is once he becomes champion, though, he can just be like line him up, dude. I'll fight every 2 months. You know? It's infuriating. Corbin couldn't make heavyweight. Oh, man, that's funny, dude. That's funny. Dana said Jones versus Aspinall is done. He did? Wait, when did he say that? What's up, Yusefa? When did he say that? Because this is today. This is literally from yesterday. Jon Jones all smiles, yada yada, and Aspinall said he's sick of talking about Jon Jones. He either needs to fight me or he's going to go fight someone else. I don't know. Did anyone else see him say that? I didn't see the live. Hold on. Let's see. Nah. 3 hours ago. I mean, unless. Here you go. Okay, here's what Dana said. He said he'll be announcing Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall soon. We'll get Aspinall versus Jones. Okay, so it's not done. It's not done. So maybe they're going to do it at the end of the year. Maybe. Balthazar, what's up, dude? Okay, I got to jump. It's my wife's mom's birthday, and she's here with us, so I got to go hang out. Yeah, he said almost done. Okay, I got to jump. You guys are the best. Love you guys. Go watch all my videos from today. If you could, okay, look, hang on. If you watch my content because you think I'm funny, right? Specifically, you're like, I'm looking for a laugh. Go watch the video I did today about Macron getting caught with a bag of blow on the train, okay? If you think I'm funny, that is one of the funniest videos I've done in a very long time. So go check that out if you want, or go check out some of the actual news like the Diddy Cassie testimony or the Epstein or go look at Play with Matches, me and Gabrielle's channel, because we've done some excellent content recently as well. All right, I got to jump. Love you guys. Bye.